Obrnio musim. Da.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I welcome you affectionately for this first part of your particular seminar, afternoon seminar. You can see I have put on the title, it's Shreyas of Prayers. Can you please help me? The choice that shapes your life. What this Shreyas of Prayers is, everything will become clear. We will start this whole program with a special guest. It's her first time in Serbia, very first time. She came with her exalted mother, and her good name is Madhurika. We will chant a little, and then we will start the seminar.
Hare Krishna, želim vam svima poželiti dobrodošlicu na vaš seminar, čiji je naslov Shreya ili Pre. Podnaslov je izbori koji oblikuju vaš život, pročitaj šta to sve tačno znači. A sada ćemo da krenemo sa Kirtanom, sa djevojkom koja je ovdje po prvi put u Srbiji, koja se zove Madhurika i koja je ovdje sa svojom uzvišenom majkom.
Thank you, Madhurika. Very nice kirtan. Let me say one thing in the beginning. We have changed our translation style for all those who speak Serbian language and are focused on that as the main language. You will have earphones. Is it earphones or what? Thank you so much. So maybe someone should say in the sweet Serbian language. Yes, say what does it do?
Ko ne zna engleski, nek podigne ruku. Ok, sad ću ja da dođem kod vas, samo stavite na uši slušalice i to je to.
And maybe you also indicate where they can connect.
I fix everything, just put on the head, that's it.
Acha.
So
So we wait a little for. The reason why we did this is Mahamuni informed me that there are more of you who speak English, in other words, an international group, and I am addressing you there in the live streaming. There are also more on the international live streaming, so therefore we have made this change. Smile and put yourself. Also, get ready. Sorry, I forgot this. How do you like the air here? Have you noted there is a difference to Novi Sad, Belgrade, and Skopje? It's really very pure air. Just by being here, you will be. It is like a spa for the lungs. Very, very good. I personally start to get alive. Soon I will start to dance, my people. This will be our first session together in this with the subject Shreyas or prayers. These are two Sanskrit terms. Shreyas, or let us start with prayers, is that which immediately feels good. And Shreyas is that what is ultimately good. I would like to give an example which all of you know from your childhood. Who of you liked as a child to brush their teeth? Krishna Laya, you are the only one. Maybe because of the taste of the toothpaste.
I really liked it.
Most of us, that is 99.9999%, had to be brought by our mother or father or elder brother to the bathroom each night, and we had to be educated. Here's your toothbrush, here's the pasta, and then do. I remember I was hiding somewhere so that my mother would not find me, but she always found me. This, because immediately it did not feel very good. You had to put this thing into your mouth, you had these little spikes, so to say, and then it was so boring to make this movement. But later in life, we learned to do this. Because we understood we will have less pain. And we do not have to visit the dentist for any painful visits. And then we chose to do that what was ultimately good, or what is ultimately good. I don't know how you are here in Serbia and Macedonia, but I don't go to bed without brushing my teeth. It's an automatic habit, and it has saved me a lot of problems. So in life, there is a principle that is to choose Shreyas, that is the good which is for the ultimate, final good, over what is prayers. And this principle plays out in many, many areas of life. So that now I can honestly say, I have learned to become comfortable with the uncomfortable, and this has helped me to reach very wonderful results in my spiritual life. So to choose Shreyas, that is the ultimate good, over prayers, is definitely a very nice principle in spiritual life. It is perhaps the most important principle, and in this seminar we will learn how to do this with joy. Not that we always have to force ourselves like the little children have to be forced, but we do it with joy. So that's the idea. We are now seeing, I think the sound is now good. There was a side sound, but it is, you have fixed it, by the way, isn't it? You are Vishwakarma. So good. So this is the idea of the seminar. Is it interesting? Do you feel that in your life it is important to learn to do this?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of you are just, we are happy to be in your association. We don't care what you talk about. Just talk whatever comes to your mind. We love you. As long as you don't ask us to think, everything is all right. I understand we are at the beginning of the seminar, and so it's all right to be like this. There is a great advantage of going on a retreat like you have gone. I just want to point out to you, you can find inner treasures on this retreat here in this beautiful forest. And I have tried to write a poem which encourages you to make best use of the retreat. Can I read it to you?
Yes.
Okay. Stop. Where are you going? Single thing you look for lies inside. Happiness, eternity, Dush, the soul, God. If you keep on looking outside, you might well miss it all. It's inside. This is perhaps a very, very important understanding. So on a retreat, when we go on a retreat, we stop what we are usually doing. We are free from our university, from our school. We are free from our doing nothing. We at that time have all the time in the world to connect with our calling, that which brought us on the spiritual path of Krishna consciousness. We can connect with the higher aspirations. The normal aspirations of a normal person is, I like to have my meals today, I have to see that I find enough rest and maybe find good conversations with friends. But going on retreat creates a space where we can connect with all these higher things. What is with my relationship with Krishna, with Vrindavan, with Radha, with Radha Kund? How can I forget? My dear devotees, if you expect a change in your life to happen while you go on doing the same activities, thinking the same thoughts, it's like expecting a mango tree to grow where you planted salad. Or it's like expecting a peacock to take birth from a donkey. It never happens. When you keep on doing the same things, you get the same things. Salad and donkeys. Or the normal things. So my recommendation for you, for these, I don't know how many days we have. Today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days we have. For these 4 days, my dear devotees, I request you to change what you're usually doing and commit to new activities or new learning in your life, because that can change your life so that you get a better or other results than you normally get. So my recommendation is always try to avoid the normal distractions and focus on the spiritual programs. Sometimes I want to recommend to you, for some of you, don't overdose on the programs. In other words, take care that you are well rested and well nourished. Maybe you make nice walks. Krishna and myself did an amazing walk this morning and sat under trees and chanted all our rounds, or most of our rounds. And we had a little in retreat, you do need to have a little time for you. In our Govardhan retreats, we have therefore developed a program that's called Alone with Krishna. We have lectures, kirtans, sometimes theater plays, or outings to holy places, but we also have about 3 hours during the day set aside to be absolutely, where devotees are absolutely alone with Krishna. They walk from our Govardhan retreat center to Govardhan Hill, and when they cross the road and enter the forest around the hill, there is one law: we cannot speak. It's Mona, the vow of silence. Then we go and look for our individual places, and we sit for 2.5 hours usually. We make our own little altar, we offer our little aratik and incense to Giriraj, and we chant or read or think, or some devotees prepare to also just lie down in the dust of Vrindavan. It's a beautiful sadhana, and it's very enlightening to have a sleep at Govardhan Hill. You get really a lot of blessings by doing this. I mean, it's maybe not what we do every day, but some days we even, it is said, even Radha and Krishna like to lie down in the dust of Vrindavan. Even Radha and Krishna. Like this. So this alone time with Krishna is important also here in our Serbian retreats, because you will hear many inspiring things that invite you to apply them in your life, that invite you to think about them and to create space in your life. Okay, I will now make my first point. My dear devotees, this lecture, the first lecture in this series, Shreyas or Prayers, is called Welcoming Change in Our Life. Can I just ask you, who of you, I think no one of us, I can say like this, is thinking they have reached already the perfection of their life. No? Because someone who feels like this, perhaps, no, I'm serious. I know for joking we can raise our hands, but I think there, for every one of you, there is something you might like to change. Maybe for the beginning of this, you can just turn to your neighbor for 1 second, Nadia. Yes, I know I make you think, but it's part of, no problem, no? And you can identify to your neighbor what you would like to change. Rasodari, you don't need to be so specific, like you want to divorce from your wife. You obviously don't say that. You know? And you can say, I'm thinking about a major change in my life. I'm joking. Here in Serbia, we need to joke about everything. Otherwise, we will not take it serious. And so, something you might like to change. Do you like to, for instance, get up earlier? Or do you like to not criticize devotees and be so bitter? Or do you like to eat less because you were told, my God, you look really heavy? What is there you want to change? I know Krishna Laya told me something she wants to change, but I cannot say it out loud before everyone, because it was not meant for an international audience. So, can you just, I will go with Krishna, We will just, is the question clear? Is there anything you want to be? Even if you say, I want to be more brown. You know, something you want. It's good if it's something spiritual, though. But we have to take everyone on board. So, please turn to your neighbor now and say something that is real. Lord, My dear devotees, I see some of you are not accustomed to speak about these things, and I want to encourage you to speak about it in the way you feel comfortable with. The main reason we do this is to become a little bit present to the subject matter, because when we are doing these exercises, you will see it's much, let me say, what you will hear will mean so much more for you and will help you so much more. So therefore, it's really in your interest. Good, my dear devotees. When you look in nature, you see constant changes. In autumn, the leaves fall to the ground. In winter, everything is covered by snow or it is very cold. In spring, the flowers emerge from the ground. I like this season very much. All of nature blossoms and becomes alive. In summer, first-class fruits ripen. I have now for 2 days gotten wonderful fruits for breakfast and so. And then once again, the autumn arrives, the fruits are harvested, and nature gets ready for the next circle: winter, spring, summer, autumn. These circles in our life are also there in our own bodies. Do you know that from the beginning of the lecture to now, you have done perhaps 20 more steps towards your own death? Wow! That's something. You have become older, Krishna Laya. The cells in your body have changed, especially in the guts. You know, the intestines. And also, change is there on your spiritual journey. Now, where you have practiced Krishna consciousness for longer, you see things differently. For instance, in relationship to food. Some of you, or most of you, cannot imagine to eat the same food which you ate before you came to Krishna consciousness, isn't it? Yes. You can't imagine, or smoke cigarettes. Not possible to think about it. No, so we are constantly changing, my dear devotees. Our nature changes, our body changes, our mind and perceptions change. Yet there is a problem. Although everything changes, our egos resist to change. You know how when you want to change and to have a better habit, the ego really gives you a tough fight, and most of us are defeated by it. Think of a simple thing like rising early. We know there are many reasons why we should, but when the evening comes, then it's time for us to relax. And midnight is very close to, and then the getting up early in the morning is a pious dream. It is not happening. Changing the intelligence understands we should change, but the ego resists change. My dear devotees, if you learn to change voluntarily, you will be very, very happy, because if you don't change the things you need to change, you will be forced to do it. At the time of death, when you lose everything, and then the next life, when you bring your old habits with you, the nature is here to help you to change, to evolve, to grow, to leave all things behind and to move on. And if you consistently say, No, 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 I'm not going to change. The nature will take up its forceful nature. In Sanskrit there is a name, Kripa, that is Krishna's own mercy, but there is also mercy which is inflicted to us through nature. It is called, this is a Sanskrit word for this. So if you resist change, you will be forced to accept it. Latest in the moment of death, when you are changed, when everything changes for you. My dear devotees, when I was younger, perhaps 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I went to Mauritius and saw my guru for change. I had followed the invitation of a devotee. We had a beautiful Kirtan Mela. We had made a huge tent and we welcomed the whole island of Mauritius. And many people came, thousands, for the Kirtan Mela. And after the Kirtan Mela, I needed some time to just relax, you know. And a devotee said, let us go and swim in the ocean. I said, dog. So we went to one very nice company. It was the devotee, the people who worked in the company were friends and of that devotee. And the company took us out into the ocean in a little boat which had, I never forget, a floor made of glass. So as we were swimming, we arrived at a coral reef. Coral reef. Kowalski. How do we say that? Yes, yes. I almost got it correct. And my dear devotees, if you ever come to Mauritius, there is a nature-protected park in the ocean where the coral reefs and the other things which grow there are protected. They are still like it is. And then we got our mask, our snorkel, it's called fin. Yeah, Finsky, no? And we could swim over and we saw the wonderful, there were swarms of fishes. Some were immediately very, very, very close and they I said, do we know each other? It was really paradisical and there were red corals, there were plants. And I was swimming and I really learned so much. And all of a sudden, I met my guru. Yes, I was swimming. And then I saw on the ground of the ocean something quickly going back. So I made a circle and again went to the same spot. And I saw before a cave something I did not really know what it was, that was whitish. It looked extremely vulnerable, so therefore when I first had come by its house or its underwater cave, it had quickly fled back. I didn't, what is that? It was this big, it was white, and it had little things. I made another round. And then I saw next to it a lobster. Next, there was this red lobster, and this next to it, this white thing. And then, oh yeah, biology, fourth class. I remember from time to time, a lobster outgrows its hard shell. It becomes bigger. And what once protected it now feels tight and restrictive. At that time, the lobster does not fight the process that it needs to expand. It cracks the old hard shell and it moves out of the old shell that no longer fits. It moves like you as a human being, you would move out of, let us say, a pair of shoes that is too small for you. The lobster really sheds its old hard shell and grows a new one. During this time, after shedding the shell, my dear devotees, the lobster, when it is like this white thing, it's quite vulnerable. How do we say vulnerable in Yes. And therefore it needs to retreat into a cave, a safe place, and a quiet place, where it can grow its new shell that serves its better. Do you understand the lobster? There the lobster can grow into what they have become now, a bigger form, an expanded form. Now in much the same way as the lobster needs to shed his shell, from time to time it is necessary that each single one of us sheds their old habits, their old form, their old ways of life, because the ways which we are accustomed to now and which served us excellently for some time are now too narrow. I do know this process from some of my disciples who have been doing a certain devotional activity, and all of a sudden they feel no longer nourished by this activity, like going on Sankirtan or something. And they start to now desperately look for a better, more suitable service. I know this also for people who go for an education. They may learn something, but after some time what they learned, they need to move on. They need to grow into something new. Each single one of you, my dear devotees, my dear friends, my dear skeptics, will be called by life to go through the process of change. And those of you who will not do this, they will be forced to do it. The way it usually happens is we feel either mentally totally bad or we feel physically bad. Something happens in our spine, something happens in our muscles, something happens in our organs, and so on. They send signs to us of discomfort because it's too narrow. Our life has become too narrow. Our form, the external form in which we live, will not serve us any longer. And I do know it is not easy to step out of the old form, out of the old shape. I know it from my own experience, and I know it from the devotion, from just being with you, living with you, sweating with you, crying with you, hearing you, and so on. That it is not easy To recognize now is the time to change, and to recognize into what I should change. My dear devotees, at the time that you are called to change, it's not enough to stop what you are doing. Like some devotees some people at that time simply divorce. Oh, this marriage doesn't work any longer, and so on. Negation is not life. It is, if you just step out of what you're doing, you are like my friend on the bottom of the Mauritius Ocean. I mean, it was not so deep, it was about 4 meters, 5 meters deep. Who was, yes, this white lobster, which was, had shed its old shell, but it had not yet grown a new shell. Only if you, so to just stop what you are doing before, to change partners, or to change, I don't know, external things, where you live, and so on, won't do the job. You are called to change into something better than you were before. You're not just called for stopping what is no longer good for you. So therefore, my dear devotees, just like a lobster needs to withdraw into a cave during its time of transformation or growing the new shell, you also need to, from time to time, step away from the daily grind of what you do, and then you will grow into something wonderful. If you don't do this, my dear devotees, you will not be happy even in Krishna consciousness. Because life is such that we need to grow. Life is such that we need to change, but the ego doesn't like it. The ego wants to hold on to the old thing. What do you think about the lobster analogy? Can you find yourself in it? Boring life. You don't know where it is with that. You can find yourself in it. No? Bhavata, you can find it. Bhavata has changed on what? Bhavana, even better. You have made some changes when it came for you the time to change. When the children were older, you became an artist. I know. You still are doing it? Yes. And you became again more active in Krishna consciousness, I think, because you immediately felt that you made this change. I can breathe now. That's the immediate thing which happens when you make the right change. Govinda Nandan. You feel immediately, whoo, I was just waiting for this. Govinda Ram, no? It is immediately coming. That feeling of great relief. I have stepped out of my old shell, which doesn't serve me any longer. I'm not yet 100% sure where my journey takes me, but I'm already growing a new skill. Now, in order to do this, to grow your new form, or to grow into your new form, there is one principle. If you can learn this, my dear devotees, your life will be Vishnu. Vishnu means perfect. This principle is taught by us in the Katha Upanishad. I would like to chant with you the verse. Shreyascha priyascha manusyameta Shreyascha priyascha manusyameta Sto samparitya vininakti Dira. Shreyo hidiro vipreya sobrinite. Preyo mando yoga shemat vinite. This verse tells us that we have always two choices to make. We will have the English translation. I don't know if you have it. We don't have it. I have it in English. Here you need to now absolutely concentrate. It will be a little an appeal to your intelligence, so you have to focus a little. Every soul has the option of accepting either the paths of the senses that give immediate gratification, what is immediately happy, making us happy, or the path of spiritual well-being, which is considered to be the ultimate good. Every second you can make this choice. For instance, when the next pizza party comes, you can decide, will I go the path of sense gratification? That means I will eat, how many you can eat in Serbia? 20 pizzas. And you will kill yourself. No? Or you can say, no, 2 pizzas are enough as long as I have good olive oil. So you can choose between the path of the senses or the path of your well-being, which is considered to be the ultimate good. With every person you meet, you can decide what will be the quality of your interaction. Will you make it a pleasant, uplifting experience, or will you get on each other's nerves? In the evening you can decide, will I brush my teeth or will I not brush my teeth? You always have the choice. In every situation. The verse continues, the wise, those people who are wise people, after carefully weighting these two, accept the path of spiritual well-being, whereas the deluded conditioned souls prefer the path of quick sense enjoyment. Do you understand this verse? Isn't it a beautiful verse from Katha Upanishad? Now, my dear devotees, there are some big choices and there are some small choices. I was very happy a little while ago. I got a phone call from a disciple in Canada, and the Canada disciple had fallen in love with a very attractive partner. And he phoned me and he said, Guru Maharaj, I have fallen in love with this very attractive Italian woman. Wow, she looks like from Vogue magazine. I said yes, yes, and I will divorce from my other partner. Yes. And does this relationship with the Italian Vogue magazine model, does it have any future? Guru Maharaj, no, not at all. She is a meat eater. She said to me, I will not change become a vegetarian, and I'm really not interested in this Hare Krishna, Hare Rama stuff. So you wish to do? Well, the disciple said, I know it's not good if I go with that Italian model person. But please don't tell me to be intelligent. I tell you right now, I will not be able to follow your instruction. So I said to him, finally I meet an honest man. We can work together. You are honest. That's a very good quality. I can understand you are overwhelmed at this moment by the path of the senses. And you already know that this will give you immediate gratification. But you also know that it's not good for the ultimate good. So my recommendation is, you cannot perhaps now work on this front. You will not be able to conquer. This disciple was not yet initiated. He had not given vows, like no illicit sex and all this. So you have not. But why don't you take some decisions now which will be good for your ultimate good? For instance, in relationship to your sadhana. You can perhaps now, when you know you are attacked by the illusory energy, you can do something which will be for the ultimate good. Maybe you can visit the nearby temple and offer some services to the devotees. Maybe you can do this, you can do that. Because I know, my dear devotees, now you need to again listen with your intelligence, but I will make it as entertaining as possible, so that it's easy to follow. My dear devotees, bhakti is such, if you do one little thing good in bhakti, so many other things will follow. If you do one little thing good, other things will follow. It's called, in language of psychology, the caravan of resources. You know, when the concept is simple. Imagine a caravan of camels. One camel has vegetables on the back, another has booze on the back, the other is carrying a heavy weight of, I don't know, cutlery, cups and plates and so on. Then the front camel takes a left turn, then the second camel goes left, the third camel goes left, fourth, you get the idea. So in bhakti, even the small thing in bhakti Devi, small thing that is doable, that you can do. You cannot maybe do the biggest things. Become a pure devotee starting from tomorrow, will bring many good things in your life so that you will be able to do further steps. In material life, small things are not consequential. They don't really do so much. But because bhakti or devotional service for Krishna is outside the laws of material nature, if you do a little thing in bhakti, you will feel great changes. I remember there was a godbrother of mine who came totally under the influence of Tamagun, and all he could do is eat and sleep. So Prabhupada was told about it. One can only eat, and then he sleeps all day. Prabhupada said, he eats prasadam. Yes, good, said Prabhupada. Let him eat prasadam, something will change. So after some time, this devotee who could only eat and sleep, said, why don't I chant a little bit before the deities? So he went before the deities, and the devotees in the temple came to Prabhupada. The Prabhupada, he's eating, and then he chants a little before the deities. But whenever we ask him to do service, he says, never. Prabhupada said, he's chanting before the deities. So let him chant before the deities, and good things will happen. And this devotee became very prominent. He sits before you at the moment and gives a lecture. Little thing in bhakti, and you get so much result. Little thing in bhakti. Who of you has read Prabhupada Lilamrita? Oh, most of you. You remember there was this one narration that Prabhupada was giving lectures in the temple, and one drunken man came and with some toilet paper, yes, you remember, and he brought the toilet, he put the toilet paper where the toilet was, and then he left him. The devotee said, don't you want to listen maybe to Swamiji, to the lecture? No. But I don't know when you need it, how often, maybe once a week or so, he came with the fresh toilet roll. 30 years later, he was initiated in the New York temple as a disciple of His Holiness Ramapada Swami. I forget his initiated name, but I knew it at a certain time. Little thing in bhakti you can do. But this little thing, Maya will not like it if you do it. Your ego will not like it. But you must do it. It will be very good for your spiritual life. Therefore, let us again sing this song. Shreyasya preyasya manushya veta. Shreyasya preyasya manushya veta. Sto samparitya vininakti dhira. Sto samparitya vininakti dhira. Shreyo hi dhiro vipreyaso vrinite. Shreyo hi dhiro vipreyaso vrinite. Yoga kshemat vrinite. Every soul has the opinion of accepting either the path of the senses that give immediate gratification, prayas, or the path of spiritual well-being, which is considered to be the ultimate good, shreyas. The wise, after carefully weighing these two, accept the path of spiritual well-being, whereas the deluded conditioned souls prefers the path of quick sense gratification. Hare Krishna. Who they do? I will give you now 4 steps towards Shreyas-based decisions. I know that some of you like to take notes and then use this in your seminars. This is a very good thing you can use in your seminar. First, when you're standing before making a decision, tell yourself, pause. Pause before deciding and reacting. You will see, even if it is an emotionally strong desire which captures you, if you are just intelligent enough to pause, sometimes the emotional impulse is cooled down. This is very important for all of us who are born in the Velkanitska temperaments. Very important. This little pause before reacting, if you are interested in neuroscience, activates the prefrontal cortex of your brain and activates this the stem is the alligator brain, which just wants to eat as soon as possible, is very often active. You know. Second, ask yourself a question. What is the long-term consequence of this decision? What is the long-term consequence? When you ask this question, your attention shifts from the desire-driven urgency and you are slowly shifting to the values and purposes. What's the long-term consequence? This is only a question. It won't do much more than just shifting attention. It will not help you. What will help you is the third and the fourth step. The third step is align with your Dharma, with your values in life, with your purpose, your why. Why am I here? Surely not to suffer in pain and fear, you know. So align with your Dharma. This activates your body, which goes towards the higher purpose, the Shreyas. And then finally, act with intention. That's the fourth step. Intention. Like, if I have to get up early in the morning, I don't like it. But if I get up in order to come to the airport, to fly to the Serbsky summer camp, wow, I like it, and I jump out of the bed. You follow? If I connect with the purpose, or I get up to chant my rounds, or I get up to do what is spiritually fulfilling me, then I do. Act with intention. So, these are four. I said 5 steps, but I only have 4. Well, the 5th step is included. Should I repeat it for you?
Yes.
Done. Good. First step, pause before making a decision. Second step, ask what is the long-term consequence of this decision. Long-term consequence. Nityanandakari, how do we translate this? Wonderful. Sounds correct. Actually, we should give Nityanandakari also a microphone that she can go over the loudspeakers, if it is possible. You have.
To su dugoročne posljedice. Koje su dugoročne posljedice te odluke koju donesemo?
Third step, align with your Dharma, your values, your purpose. How would that be? Why would I do this? Oh yeah, I will do it because I really want my life to be compassionate, spiritual, and so on. And then fourth step, act with intention. Nityanandakari. Act with intention. How do we say this?
Četvrti korak je da djelujete sa namjerom.
Because when you are connecting an activity with an intention, it's much easier. you can do things which you usually can't do. Like there is research, mothers who have the intention to protect their children are 3 times stronger than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yes, when it comes to defending their children, because they have a purpose now to protect the child, in the mother. I told you I met the strongest woman of India. She was a small little woman who had chased away a bear who was attacking the children of the neighbor house. She had this intention and was strong, and the president of India gave her a document, strongest lady of India. Yes, I don't know if you have to, who is strong here? Go, come on. So if he has to fight with a bear, I don't know how good he will do. If he does it to protect devotees, it will be possible for him. Yeah. Or simply before making a decision ask, is this prayers? Because it feels good now, but it might throw me off my rails. Or is this Shreya? Even if it is hard now, will it bring lasting fulfillment and spiritual growth? This is very important, my dear devotees. I will now ask you to again go in a group of 2. Please, I know some of you are introverts. You don't like to do this, but please do it. It will be good for you. It will be also good to shed your thinking. God Krishna will put our teacher of change. Who is our teacher of change? Lobster. What do we say in our language here? Yes. Yes. So, discuss with your neighbor. First, find your neighbor. Krishna asks, who's your neighbor? I go with God Krishna. Everyone has a neighbor. Familiar neighbor. What? Not familiar. No problem. You are find the neighbor. It's about neighbor. Go, Kumar. Neighbor, you found a neighbor? Go. You just keep running. I will ask Nityananda Kari after this to read it out loud. But this is what I request you to discuss with your neighbor. What is the one change that your soul is calling for, that your ego is resisting, because it feels comfortable where it is and fears losing control? Nityananda Kari, please, in the sweet Serbian language.
Dakle, diskutujte sa svojim susjedom. Koja je to jedna promjena koju vaša duša vas zove da je napravite, ali se vaš ego oprije zato što mu je udobno tu gdje se nalazi i boji se da će izgubiti kontrolu?
Is clear the question? Please start now. Only one, not 50 and it has to come from the soul. Perhaps go to the down and say that. works. So you found something, that one thing? My recommendation to you, everyone, Kamala Sundari, is do something small in the direction of this one thing. Something that is doable for you. There is this Bhagavatam shloka, and I can find it for you. Not now, I will have to look a little bit carefully. Which says, in material life, when we do small things in order to change, it is often inconsequential. It does not produce result. But in Bhakti, even a small step produces tremendous result. I see our time has come. If you forget everything about this lecture, don't forget this. The wise teacher of change. It was when I was in England, one Maladetsa was making it, who was there in the lecture, and I said, I travel with this all over the world. You know. He's a Vaishnava. How do you like? If you forget everything, don't forget this, no? The wise teacher of change. You understood what this is, no? From time to time, go and see what you need to give up and what you need to grow new. Yeah? Krishna Laya is making photographs for Yoshi, no? Yes. Very, very, very clear. No? Marva Muni. We have a new guru. So, good. I will stop my presentation here. My Mamuni has just come for the right time. Would you like to please come here and tell us how we will continue? Thank you very much, by the way, and Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Actually, I have just a question for you. Tomorrow is Bhima Nirjala Kadashi, so something about that. But yes, we will have now Gora Arati, and then we will have Krishna Katha. And we have some cake which we will distribute. And there is the sweetest Katha. So Guru Maharaj will stop at the sweetest moment. I mean, as much as you need. So that we will see. Will the cake will be bitter after this sweet Krishna Katha, equally sweet. And so I have a question, and don't be embarrassed. How many Ekadashis you, I mean, we will cook something, some Ekadashi prasadam for those who never broke Ekadashi last year. So you can raise hands who is in that category, so that we know how much we can cook. So don't be ashamed. It's not about breaking Ekadashi, it's like how many of you human question.
For everybody.
$29, 30, 31. So, 32. Okay, thank you. Now we have some idea. So tomorrow we have another opportunity to outgrow